Okay, namaste. Marie here again on Monday, and today I want to talk to you about a few things. As many of you know, I'm a student in A Course in Miracles, and I love the curriculum in A Course because it's really about a thought reversal, and it's about shifting my mindset and all of our mindsets, or whoever wants to study, essentially, from the thoughts of fear to the thoughts of love. And I think that a lot of times we don't even realize how deeply we are embedded in a disempowering thought system. And this really rang true for me over the weekend, and I wanted to share some pieces with you today. I got my numbers back from my last test that was measuring the tumor for my breast cancer, and they were not as favorable as I was expecting. And I kind of went back to the drawing board. I had a lot of really strong feelings about that, given, at least in my mind, I was thinking that I was doing everything I could, and the diet piece is kind of hard, and I thought I could relax a little bit on a few things. I thought I could have a little coffee and a banana here and there, and what I realized is that I really can't. I really just can't. And you might be thinking, what's the big deal about a cup of coffee, and what's the big deal about a banana? I mean, seriously. But what makes it a big deal for me in terms of my cancer treatment is that, well, bananas are sugar, and I am following a keto-based diet. So that is teaching my body how to burn fat rather than sugar. So anytime I add even the smallest little bit of sugar or carbohydrate, it spikes my insulin, it gives me a bit of headache, and it just changes my whole state. I can feel it immediately. But it's hard, right? I have small children, I'm on the run, I'm doing this and that, and I'm just like, some days want to make it easy for myself. And then the thing about the coffee, it's the same thing. Coffee is acidic, and it raises my adrenals, and it gives me this like kind of rush, like the rush that I love, but at the same time it's counterintuitive because I'm trying to get my body back in an alkaline state. So how does this all relate to a miracle? And in A Course in Miracles, the main premise, a miracle is defined in A Course in Miracles, that it's a shift in perception. So when I look at my diet, or I look at some of the things that I've been implementing for my cancer, I have to shift my perception around what's acceptable and what's not. And it's similar to the idea that when you take, like, for example, scissors away from a child and the child is screaming, you know, as the grown-up, you take the scissors away because the scissors could potentially hurt the child, even though the child starts to cry. You know, we kind of deal with that. In a way, it's kind of like that with dieting, and with, not only with food, but with anything that you know is not good for you. Maybe it's an unhealthy relationship. Course in Miracles would call that a special relationship, where, like, perhaps you have some people in your life that they get a pass, they trigger you all the time. They're allowed to mistreat you, or you feel superior to someone or less than someone else. A Course in Miracles teaches us that all the children of God are special, and none of the children of God are special, in that we're all one and we're all equal. We're ideas in the mind of God. I digress slightly, but it will come back around, because what I'm trying to say is that when we let go of the things, when we're able to shift our perception around what's potentially harmful for us, and encourage ourselves to stay the course, it's so uplifting. And it's hard, I'm not gonna lie. There are times when I'm like, oh gosh, like, this is really hard, I don't think I can do it, like, I'm just gonna go have surgery and just check out. But I know that as I continue to shift my perception, as I continue to see that I actually do have the power to change my mind about certain things, like, do I really need coffee to be in a good mood? So my friend Michelle Baroque is here from Florence, Italy, and she has this amazing story, and her and I are going to sit down while she's here, and I want to share her with you, because she's just so full of light, and the way that she's been able to shift her perception around her life has been really inspiring for me. So she's been giving me cacao. This is cacao drink that's so delicious and really gave me a boost of energy, and it's filled with all sorts of really good stuff. And so I've been really happy about that, and it's wonderful to be here, and it's wonderful to really be nurtured. I've been one of the things that I know, besides for just the food part of my treatment, is the emotional part, and knowing that I'm loved and supportive, knowing that I can feel my pain, I think is a big one too, a shift in my own perception, because I think I've been avoiding my pain and discomfort a lot. I think I've been kind of pushing it down and just going on, it's all good, I'm a yogi, it's perfect, it's all love, and love can be fierce. Just like taking away the scissors. It's not that I don't get to have some of the things that I love. Instead, I get to have, this is Mexico, I get to have this journey, and I get to have this experience where I'm learning about myself, I'm learning about some of the barriers to love within me, and the crutches I have on such a deep level in terms of being happy. One of the things that I've learned through my yoga practice and my coaching in these last 15 years is that being happens first. Being, and then doing, and then having. And the way in the world is quite the opposite. It's like, well, if I had more money, I would do what I loved, and then I would be happy. So this cancer journey has been another layer of being first. Like, let's be first, right? We're human beings. Larry Schultz, my yoga teacher, used to say that we're human beings. We're not human doing machines. And in so many ways, we've become these doing machines. We're missing the miracles. We're missing the opportunities to change our mind about something, to look at it from a higher perspective, to not get so stuck in those regular pathways. We go in the same direction because they're easy, right? So it's easy to keep going back to coffee because I know it works. And for you at home, I mean, whatever you do, whatever you eat, and however that works for you, that's your own business. I'm just in the middle of something where I have to be super, super conscious. And if I'm going to focus on being, then I'm going to be present. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be vigilant. I spoke with Claudia, my health guru coach, last week, and she was like, Marie, you need to be vigilant. There's no room right now for error. It's such a serious journey, and being vigilant means that yes, every day is a new day, and every day I'm working on my health, but being vigilant also means that I'm paying attention mentally to the areas in my mind where I'm going into fear or lack or I can't have or anything like that. So when I lift my consciousness, I'm focusing more on what I want to be, which is happy and free and present, a loving mother, a kind human, all of those things. And then I move into doing. So what am I doing? I'm healing myself. Like, wow, I'm really having this opportunity to heal myself and to watch my process without any fear. Because every time I see my mind wanting to go to fear, I know that I'm traveling into a dark place. And I have the power to choose again. And that's what a miracle is. It's knowing and pausing enough and having that ability to get vertical so that I can see when I'm going and coming back to the center and choosing love. And that's what I'm up to. That's what healing for me has been really deep about. And looking at different triggers for myself. It's been amazing. So I'm being kind, I'm being vigilant, I'm healing myself, that's my do, and my have is love and this beautiful life and this beautiful experience with my family in Oaxaca and seeing the ocean every day. What a gift. And having the awareness and having this extended community. We're getting ready for teacher training in a couple weeks. I'm just so excited to sit in the circle with all of these beautiful souls that are actively working towards personal development, actively working towards self-realization in yoga. The whole practice is about self-realization, S with a capital. Self, like my highest self, my highest divine potential. Not the part of me that thinks I need coffee to be happy. Not the part of me that thinks I can't live the life I want to live. Not the part of me that's afraid I'm making all of these mistakes and errors. You know, Course in Miracles doesn't say, be perfect. It says when you make a mistake, atone for it. Go back to the moment. Ask yourself, where did I get it right today? Where did I get it wrong? Ask for support. Ask for help from the divine. I mean, we're so, as adults, we think we have to know everything and be everything and do everything perfectly, when really it's not about that. We're here to learn. I've heard before that Earth is a schoolroom and life is not a performance, it's a journey. So I wanted to share that with you on this beautiful Monday, this miraculous Monday, and invite you to look at this week and look at ways in which you might be able to shift your perception. You might be able to receive some miracles this week, simply changing your mind from a fear-based thought to a loving thought. Anytime you're triggered or you feel like your energy is shifting or you want to lash out or you want to get angry, just take a deep breath. Ask for support. How can you be loving in this situation? And trust me, it's not easy, I know that, but it gets easier. And the reason that we do it is because it makes us happy. Forgiveness is about us. When we forgive and when we let go and when we're more loving, we just feel better. And that's really the bottom line. Course in Miracles says when you withhold forgiveness or you have a judgment, it never leaves you. So you've got to carry around that energy. And, so if I'm going around judging everybody or feeling bad about myself or feeling guilty, that's on me. And that energy, I'm going to be a little bit bold here and say, that energy causes cancer. It's unnatural. That type of thinking, that type of judgment, all of that stuff, it's unnatural. So it's like a cancer cell. A cancer cell is unnatural. It's decided it doesn't want to serve the whole. It wants to have its own little universe over here and do what it does over there. And, there I am. So there was a part of my mind, and there still is. I can feel it and I can see it. The deeper I get into my practice, I can see that there are still some areas where I believe I'm not good enough, or I believe I'm unlovable. And those are the areas of my life that I'm really praying for miracles, and I'm really meditating, and I'm going deeper into my own experience so that I can continue to heal in the place where it matters, which is up here in the mind. The mind is like the computer, right? And if there's a virus in the mind, the computer's not going to work. And it's the same thing like that. I have some areas, and I think that all of us do. That's why we're here on planet Earth, if you will. We're not enlightened masters, and we're here to learn. That's why we're here. So I'm really welcoming the journey, and all of the shame or the guilt I've had about, oh my God, how could I have gotten breast cancer? I'm really starting to let that go, because it's here and it's a gift, and it's really teaching me such a deeper cut, such a deeper layer of spirit, and how love works, and how God operates, and what is cause and effect, and all of these just amazing principles, universal principles, metaphysical principles that have been so enlightening and so heartwarming, so uplifting. So I invite you to have a great week. Take a few moments now and then. A Course in Miracles says that 5 minutes in the morning with the Holy Spirit is enough to order your thoughts. It also says that there's no order of difficulty in miracles. So some things, we think they're special, those are really hard, like cancer's really hard, I can't heal cancer, and maybe a cold is different. A Course says there's no order of difficulty in miracles. A miracle is a miracle. It's a shift from fear to love. So, friends, have a great week. Next week I'll come to you from the beach. Today I'm out on the patio, and this morning we went to see the dolphins. My children didn't have school today, so Michelle was so kind. She invited us. We got this little boat, and we went out into the middle of the ocean, and we watched the dolphins, and it was amazing. So I hope to see you sometime. I'm going to put together some retreats in April and one in September, and maybe you can come and we can practice some yoga together, and we can sit in the circle and talk about some of these spiritual tools that we've been using to empower and to really grow. So that's all for now. Lots of love. Namaste. Bye for now.